Part 2 of the Star Wars Legion Barricades painting tutorial. If you didn't catch part 1 yet, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, where the first part of that video goes over how to prepare the barricades before you paint them. My first tutorial, however, is for Naboo. I've started off with Kashyyyk green, applied with a stippling motion for maximum coverage. Kashyyyk green is pretty thin though, so I've required 4 coats of paint to get a solid coverage. Once this is applied and dry, thin down some Rhinox hide with water and apply this as a wash all over. This will create some shading and imply a dirty and dusty barricade. The acrylic paints dry in the recesses without severely changing the colour of the Kashyyyk green, unlike a traditional wash would. This needs to be fully dry before applying your dry brush of Barricades green. I found that 2 or 3 passes were required to get the coverage that I wanted. It's important to be patient with this step and simply dry brush the area for longer, rather than applying more paint onto your brush. Once you've got the coverage of the Barricades green that you want, a quick and light dry brush of Rakarth flesh is applied to catch the edges of the panels. On the back, paint the lenses with Gracia before applying a coat of contrast paint to finish it off. I've selected Talisar Blue to complement the cool green colour of the barricade. And lastly, a light dry brush of Xandri Dust is applied on the bottom of the barricade to simulate and suggest dust. I've decided to keep the black undercoat as the main colour of this barricade, and instead dry brushed it with Thunderhawk Blue to start the highlight process. Next, apply a lighter dry brush of Gracia to start picking out the edges of the panels. Water down some Steel Legion drab to apply as an all-over wash. Like the previous barricade, this will create some recessed shading and imply dirt and grime in the recesses. Once again, because this is an acrylic paint, when it dries, it won't severely change the colour of the previous steps. Just like in my part 1 video, I've decided to use an old brush to simulate chips and scratches. This time, I've used Ulthuan Grey on the darker barricade. I've taken this a step further this time and even painted on micro surface scratches with a very thin down paint. Because this barricade will be on our forest planets, instead of simulating dust, I'm going to now simulate moss. Firstly, I've applied striking green with a bit of dry brushing. And then further highlighted this with Skarsnik green. And just like our Naboo barricade, I've painted the lenses in Gracia. And further applied a contrast paint. In this case, I've chosen Blood Angels Red. I didn't record a Geonosis tutorial, but please enjoy the showcase. You've made it to the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around. If you found the content useful and helpful, like the video and consider subscribing for more of my content down the track. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.